Hi there, Celine Gelgich here, coming to you from Melbourne Wellbeing Group. It's the 1st of October, which means it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and we hope to come to you this month with loads of different tips and strategies and advice, as we do normally, and we hope you find it useful. And today we're going to be kicking off by talking about teaching mindfulness to young children. And this is off the back of me getting a question yesterday from a family friend saying, can you teach a 9-year-old mindfulness? And I was like, yeah, sure you can. And then we talked a little bit about how you can actually do that. And I thought it would be a great idea to share it with you all as well, because it's something that's super easy to do in terms of incorporating it into your everyday life. It's not something that you always have to actually make time for. You can incorporate it in numerous different ways, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how you do that. Mindfulness is a bit of a buzzword at the moment. Actually, it's a lot of a buzzword. And basically what it means in its very simplest form is to notice. So when you're being mindful, you're actually noticing the world around you, either your external world, being what you can see, hear, touch or feel, taste and smell, as well as your internal world, which is basically what are the physical sensations that you're experiencing. What are you feeling? What's going on? Do you have any tension in your body? Do you have any pains or niggling sensations? And so on and so forth. So it's paying attention to your external environment as well as your internal environment. So that's mindfulness in a nutshell. And there are loads of different ways that you can incorporate it into everyday life. The formal practice of mindfulness is more in terms of your meditation, whether it's a movement meditation or a meditation where you're being still. A movement meditation being something like yoga or running or dance or something very rhythmic. And a meditation where you're being still is where you're literally just finding a quiet spot, sitting quietly and paying attention to your breath and just also noticing your thoughts. And these are the types of things that we need to actually make time for and schedule into our day, our week, our routine, however you would do that. We can also practice mindfulness in an informal way, and that's by using your 5 senses. And this is something that you can do with your children. You can also do the formal mindfulness practice with your children through really useful apps and things, or getting them to do yoga for kids and so on and so forth. But it's also a nice way to do it informally, and by doing that, you're coaching them to internalize that voice where they are just noticing the world around them rather than getting caught up in their minds and in their thoughts. And we can do this through loads of different ways, but it's really using everyday activities to help them to do this. And an example of this is, you might be driving home from school and you might ask your kids, what are 5 things they can see? What are 4 things they can touch or feel? What are 3 things they can hear? What are 2 things they can smell, if anything, around them? And what's 1 thing that they can taste, if anything? Or you might just simplify it even more and ask them, tell me 3 things that you can see as we're driving home. And it's about using descriptive language. So they might say, I can see a car, I can see a tree, I can see the sky, or I can see a cloud, or I can see a traffic light, or I can see a person. So just being really descriptive in what they can see. Another time you might want to do it is when you're eating dinner together, and you might be like, what flavors can you taste? But again, rather than saying it tastes nice, you might say, I can taste tomato, I can taste, if they're eating spaghetti, you might be like, I can taste the spaghetti and it's a little bit hard or chewy or soft or hot or cold, or I can taste the meat. And you want to get them to label what it is that they can taste or smell and even see. Another time that you might want to do it is if you're bathing your kids or if they're having a shower. You might want to be like, what's the temperature like? What does the soap smell like? What can you see? What can you feel? What can you hear? So I can hear the water running, and so on and so forth. So just by kind of prompting your kids with these sorts of questions throughout the day, you're teaching them to really pay attention to the present moment. And when you're doing that, you're encouraging them to be mindful. And what you hope through that coaching is to encourage them to be mindful with everyday exercises. There are loads of different scenarios that you can teach your kids to be mindful in, and we have a deck of cards with prompts on these everyday exercises. They're available on our website, through our shop. They're available, I think, off the top of my head for $29.95. I can't remember. I should know that. But if you're interested, you're more than welcome to order them and talk through with your kids and use it with your kids to help teach them to be mindful in everyday experiences, so that they're not caught up in their minds so much as they're in the present moment, and it can help them to internalize that experience. So I hope that was helpful with some tips and strategies on how to teach kids to be mindful. And thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.